Hey NFL fans, before we dive into today's hottest stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update from NFL News Now. Philadelphia, man, there's just something about that city when the Eagles are rolling. You can feel it in the air, you can hear it in the way fans talk about Sundays like they're sacred. And right now, sitting at 6-2 after 8 weeks, the Philadelphia Eagles are reminding the entire NFL why they've become one of the league's modern powerhouses. This isn't just another strong start. It's the continuation of a culture, a mentality, and a relentless pursuit of greatness that's been building ever since that first Super Bowl ring dropped in 2017. But this time, it feels a little different. It feels like we're watching a new chapter take shape, one that's being written by some fresh faces alongside the established stars. Because let's be honest, yeah, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Darius Slay get the headlines. But there's a new name echoing through Philly right now, Jahad Campbell. Now, I know what you're thinking. A rookie linebacker? Really? That's the big story. Oh yeah, because what this kid is doing, as a first-year player in Vic Fangio's complex, demanding defensive system, is nothing short of impressive. ESPN just named Jahad Campbell the Eagles' best offseason addition. And if you've been watching the tape, it's hard to argue. The dude has been everywhere. One drive he's blitzing off the edge, bending around tackles like a natural pass rusher. The next, he's dropping back in coverage, reading quarterbacks like he's been in the league 5 years. For a rookie to play 87% of defensive snaps on a Super Bowl caliber roster, that's saying something. He's got 45 tackles, 8 quarterback pressures, and even a pick. And he's doing it all while learning multiple roles. It's the kind of versatility that coaches drool over. And for Philly fans, it's the kind of versatility that turns a good defense into a dangerous one. And let's rewind for a second, because the craziest part of all this is how Campbell even ended up in Philly in the first place. This guy was projected as a top 10 pick out of Alabama, a machine built by Nick Saban himself. Everyone knew the skill was there. Sideline to sideline range, explosive first step, elite instincts. But then the pre-draft whispers started. Concerns about the shoulders. Questions about the knees. You've heard it before. Teams get spooked, players fall, and the rich get richer. That's exactly what happened here. The Eagles, sitting at pick 31, already stacked, already with one of the deepest rosters in football, looked around the board and said, why not? They took the risk. They believed the medicals would hold. And man, is that gamble paying off right now. From the very first snap of the season, Campbell's looked like he belongs. He's not just playing, he's dictating. You can see the confidence in how he moves, that split-second recognition when the running back bounces outside, or the patience to hold contained before crashing down on a screen pass. That's the stuff that doesn't always show up on stat sheets, but defensive coordinators notice it. Fangio's been able to move him around like a chess piece, shifting him inside when Nakobe Dean went down, and then sliding him back outside when Dean returned. That flexibility gives the Eagles so many options, and that's what championship defenses are built on. It's not just about stars, it's about adaptability, about plugging in the right guy at the right time and knowing he can handle it. But of course, in Philly, no story runs completely smooth. As dominant as the Eagles have looked at times, there's always drama swirling around this team. And right now, a lot of that centers on A.J. Brown. The wide receiver has been one of the most explosive playmakers in the league since arriving from Tennessee. And when he's on the field, this offense just hits another gear. But recently, things have gotten complicated. Brown missed Week 8 against the Giants with a hamstring injury, and while the Eagles still steamrolled New York 38-20, questions started flying. Is he unhappy? Was there something brewing behind the scenes? You know how it goes. One cryptic tweet, one sideline conversation, and suddenly everyone's got a theory. Head coach Nick Sirianni has been doing his best to shut that down. The guy's a master of managing personalities, and if there's one thing he's learned over these past few years, it's that sometimes you've got to protect the locker room from the noise outside. When he went on Sports Radio 94 WIP, you could tell he was tired of the Brown talk. But he handled it like a pro. He said it straight. That was a couple of weeks ago. Business as usual. Really excited to get him back. You could sense the relief in his voice, not just because he wants his star receiver back, but because he knows this team can be unstoppable when everyone's locked in. And make no mistake, the Eagles' offense without A.J. Brown was still cooking. They rushed for 276 yards against the Giants, with Jalen Hurts playing arguably his best game of the season, throwing 4 touchdown passes and commanding the offense like a true leader. It was vintage Hurts, calm, composed, clutch. But here's the thing. With Brown in the lineup, that same offense becomes something else entirely. It becomes dangerous. It becomes unpredictable. It's one thing to try and stop the Eagles' ground game with Hurts, DeAndre Swift, and that offensive line bulldozing defenders with the tush-push. It's another thing entirely when you've also got A.J. Brown running routes that demand double coverage. Defenses can't load the box the same way. Suddenly, everything opens up. The field stretches. The playbook expands. That's the ripple effect Brown brings. And maybe that's why, even with all the speculation, all the chatter about possible trade rumors, which, by the way, ESPN's Adam Schefter completely shut down, you can sense the Eagles are keeping their focus. Sirianni's message has been crystal clear. It's about winning. Nothing else. And if you've been paying attention, that's been the DNA of this team since the start of the Hurts era. Every time they face adversity, they find a way to respond. Every time people start doubting, they flip the narrative. Remember the slow start last year? They ended up in the Super Bowl. Remember when people said losing coordinators would set them back? Now they're 6-2 with one of the most complete rosters in football. The magic of this Eagles team isn't just the talent, though they've got plenty of that. It's the chemistry. It's the way veterans like Jason Kelce, Fletcher Cox, and Brandon Graham set the tone every single day. It's the way Hurts refuses to let distractions seep in. It's the way a rookie like Jahad Campbell can walk into a locker room full of all-pros and immediately earn respect by how he works. That's the Philadelphia mentality. Grit, accountability, confidence without arrogance. And when you combine that mindset with actual playmaking ability, you get exactly what we're seeing. A team that can win ugly, win pretty, and win in ways that make you believe they're not done chasing rings. And speaking of that chase, let's not overlook the bigger picture here. The Eagles aren't just trying to win the NFC East. They're trying to get back to the Super Bowl for the 3rd time in 4 years. That's dynasty-level ambition, and it's not crazy to think they can do it. The defense is coming together, the offense is finding balance, and the locker room seems determined to keep the noise outside. Jahad Campbell is emerging as the latest symbol of how this organization finds value where others hesitate. Nick Sirianni continues to show he can manage egos, injuries, and expectations. And Jalen Hurts, quietly, methodically, is reminding everyone why he's one of the best leaders in the game. So yeah, when ESPN says the Eagles pulled off another draft steal, they're not exaggerating. Jahad Campbell is just the latest gem in a long line of smart, fearless moves by Howie Roseman and this front office. And the scary part? He's only scratching the surface. Imagine what this defense looks like in December when he's even more comfortable, when A.J. Brown is back healthy, when Hurts has that extra edge in his voice that says, "We're not done yet." You can feel it. The storm is building again in Philly. The city of brotherly love is ready for another run, and this time, they're doing it with a mix of old warriors and new blood. If that's not the recipe for something special, I don't know what is. Keep watching as we analyze more details about some rumors. The rumor mill has officially erupted, and it's not just whispers this time. This is a full-blown headline-making moment in the NFL world. Sources are confirming that Roger McCreary, one of the most talked-about defensive backs in recent drafts, has officially signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, you heard that right. McCreary is set to don the midnight green, and if there was any doubt about the Eagles' commitment to fortifying their secondary, consider it shattered. For months, fans and analysts alike have speculated about how the Eagles would address the looming questions in their defensive backfield, and now it seems they've pulled a major ace out of their sleeve. The buzz around McCreary's name has been constant since his college days, and the hype hasn't slowed down. He's known for his exceptional coverage skills, his uncanny ability to read quarterbacks, and his explosiveness in man-to-man situations, which makes him an immediate upgrade wherever he lines up. Rumors had been swirling about multiple teams being interested, but the Eagles' aggressive pursuit shows a clear message. They're not just looking to compete, they're aiming to dominate. The chatter around McCreary's signing started quietly, almost under the radar, but insiders were quick to pick up on it. A few close sources hinted that negotiations had been swift and serious, indicating both sides were motivated to get a deal done. The Eagles, coming off a season where their secondary showed flashes but also glaring weaknesses at critical moments, clearly saw this as a priority move. And McCreary, for his part, reportedly liked the vision the team laid out. A scheme that maximizes his strengths, a defensive coaching staff that believes in his potential, and the chance to play in a high-stakes market where his performances will be front and center. It's rare to see a player and a team aligned so perfectly on vision and opportunity, but everything points to this being more than just another signing. It could be a turning point for both McCreary's career and the Eagles' defensive identity. Now, let's break down what this signing really means for Philadelphia. The Eagles' secondary has been a topic of intense debate, especially after they faced offenses with top-tier quarterback play last season. Fans have watched games where breakdowns in coverage led to high-impact plays, and there's been a lingering question about whether the team had the right mix of talent and experience to consistently shut down explosive passing attacks. Enter Roger McCreary. He brings versatility that the Eagles' backfield has desperately needed. He can line up outside, cover slot receivers, and even slide into safety rotations if necessary. The whispers around league circles have been that he's a game-changer in press coverage, the type of corner who can disrupt timing routes and force quarterbacks to rethink their reads. Imagine a defensive back who doesn't just react but anticipates, reads the quarterback's eyes, and makes plays before they fully develop. This is the kind of presence McCreary is rumored to bring. For fans dreaming of highlight reel interceptions and lockdown performances, this could be exactly the type of player they've been waiting for. Of course, every signing carries a weight of expectations, and the chatter around McCreary's transition to the NFL has always included one recurring note: consistency. Scouts and analysts alike have pointed out that while he has elite physical tools and football IQ, translating those traits into consistent production at the professional level is the true test. But the rumors from inside the Eagles camp are overwhelmingly positive. Coaches reportedly see him as a student of the game, someone who not only studies film relentlessly but also actively works to refine his technique. That work ethic, paired with his natural athleticism, suggests that McCreary won't just be a promising rookie. He could become a foundational piece for the Eagles' secondary for years to come. And let's not forget the timing. The Eagles' front office has been methodical in their acquisitions, targeting specific needs without overextending themselves, and landing McCreary seems like the perfect convergence of talent, opportunity, and strategic planning. The whispers in the locker room reportedly point to a genuine excitement among the current defensive roster. Adding a player of McCreary's caliber injects both talent and confidence, signaling to the rest of the league that Philadelphia is serious about its defensive ambitions. The fan reaction has been nothing short of electric. Social media platforms lit up the moment the news broke, with Eagles fans speculating about immediate starting roles, potential highlight plays, and how McCreary's presence could change the defensive dynamics in the NFC East. Analysts are already drawing comparisons to some of the best young corners in the league, debating whether McCreary could emerge as a shutdown corner within his first season. And while that remains to be seen, the optimism is palpable. Rumors have even suggested that McCreary's leadership qualities could come into play sooner rather than later. Despite being a young player, he's been described as someone who communicates effectively on the field, helps align teammates, and keeps the defensive unit cohesive during high-pressure situations. That combination of skill, football IQ, and leadership is exactly what championship-caliber teams look for, and the Eagles appear to have checked all three boxes. Insiders are also pointing out the potential ripple effect this signing could have on the rest of the league. The NFC East is notoriously competitive, and adding a corner like McCreary shifts the balance in Philadelphia's favor. Quarterbacks who face the Eagles will now have to account for a more dynamic and unpredictable secondary. Plays that were once considered automatic or high percentage may suddenly become risky ventures. The rumors suggest that opposing teams are already recalibrating their game plans, imagining how they'll need to adjust routes, timing, and even personnel to deal with McCreary's versatility. And from a broader perspective, this signing sends a clear message to free agents and future draft prospects. The Eagles are building a defensive identity that prioritizes speed, intelligence, and physicality in the secondary, making Philadelphia an attractive destination for players looking to compete at a high level while joining a culture that values preparation and performance. But let's not ignore the narrative around McCreary himself. His journey to this point has been characterized by resilience, adaptability, and a quiet confidence that he can thrive under pressure. While rumors often swirl about locker room dynamics, sources close to McCreary insist that he's focused entirely on football, on his craft, and on fitting into a system where he can excel. That professionalism, combined with his natural talent, makes him a perfect candidate for a seamless transition into the Eagles' scheme. Coaches reportedly view him as the type of player who not only elevates his own game, but also pushes those around him to improve. That kind of influence is intangible yet invaluable, and it could be exactly what the Eagles need as they aim to solidify their identity as a defensively elite team. The buzz suggests that McCreary's signing isn't just about statistics or individual performance. It's about culture, energy, and sending a message to both teammates and competitors that Philadelphia is serious about being a contender. As the Eagles prepare for training camp and the upcoming season, all eyes will undoubtedly be on how McCreary integrates into the team's system. Rumors hint at an immediate impact, with veteran leaders reportedly impressed by his football IQ and competitive drive. Analysts are already predicting that his presence could dramatically alter coverage schemes, allowing the Eagles to be more aggressive with blitzes and defensive alignments, knowing that McCreary can handle high-pressure coverage situations. Fans are buzzing about potential matchups, imagining the dynamic between him and the team's existing cornerbacks, and wondering if we might witness one of the most impressive rookie-to-pro transitions in recent memory. While it's still early, the narrative is clear. McCreary's arrival marks a turning point, a ripple in the NFL rumor mill that could soon become a tidal wave of results on the field. Philadelphia may have just secured a piece that transforms not only their secondary, but also the perception of their entire defense in the eyes of the league. Ultimately, the confirmation of Roger McCreary signing with the Eagles isn't just a headline. It's a story that will be told throughout the season. The whispers and rumors leading up to it have been replaced by tangible reality. A dynamic young corner, an aggressive and strategic team, and a fan base ready to witness what could be a defining chapter in Philadelphia's defensive history. Every analyst, every insider, every fan who's been following the back-and-forth speculation now has to confront the fact that this is real, and the implications are massive. As the season approaches, all eyes will be on McCreary, watching to see if he can live up to the hype, influence games, and cement his place as one of the NFL's next breakout stars. The buzz, the rumors, the speculation, they were all just the opening act. Now, the main event begins, and Philadelphia has just raised the stakes in a big way. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your fellow NFL fans. Stay tuned for more updates, only here on NFL News Now.